We offer top-notch and reliable garage doors you can count on. Our phone number is 618-244-6134. On behalf of everyone at Southern Illinois Door, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Real Life Radio, 90.9 The Vine.
90.9 The Vine, in conjunction with AreaSports.net, proudly presents The Sports Couch. The Sports Couch is the area's only locally produced weekly sports show that is live on FM radio and also streamed live on both of our websites at AreaSports.net and WVYN.org. Who will be on the couch this morning? Let's find out. The Sports Couch is on the air right now. Well, good morning, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Couch here on a Saturday morning. I'm Randy Olson in studio along with Danny Anselment. And Danny, a big night of basketball last night. We got a lot of scores to get to here in just a moment, but we're going to get our first guest on right away because he's a busy guy this morning.
Yeah, he's been cordial enough to go ahead and join us here this morning. I think he's got a lot on his plate right now.
You think?
I think it's folks don't realize what it takes to put on one of these Christmas tourneys, Randy. And these guys behind the scene put a lot of work and a lot of effort. And the closer it gets to crunch time, the more nervous they become, I think.
Yeah, and we're talking about Greg Goodley, the athletic director at Eldorado High School. The Eldorado Holiday Tournament, of course, going to be taking place right after Christmas. And they'll be announcing the seedings and the pairings here soon. Let's visit with Greg right now. Good morning, Greg. How are you?
Hey, good morning, guys. Glad to be with you.
Well, good to have you on the show and doing things a little bit differently this year, waiting a little bit longer this year for the seedings and the pairings, right? And allowing more games to be played, right?
Yeah, we pushed it back a little bit. Just want to kind of give teams, a full run, just see how it worked out, see if it helped our seedings, our pairings for the tournament. It's one of those things you never know till you try it. So we gave it a shot since the tournament's going to be pushed back a couple of days after Christmas and doesn't start till the 28th.
Mm-hmm.
Still gives guys time to find information they need to find, but hopefully it all comes together and works well.
Well, Coach, looks like you're going to have a great tournament once again this season. The atmosphere and everything down there at that Eldorado gym is just great, but teams coming into this thing look like they're going to be pretty evenly matched, and looks like there could be 4 or 5 teams really vying for the championship.
Yeah, I think so. I think, right off the top of my head, I know Eldorado, Harrisburg, and Anna have started out pretty hot. But, I think we all know that once you get in tournament play, it just takes one mess up to get yourself outed real quick. And it's kind of a good thing. Our teams are playing a little more preseason tournaments, so I think they come in a little sharper for tournament play. But I think overall it's going to be a well-rounded tournament.
I think it's a great move that you pushed it back to the 28th, 29th, and 30th because I think that's going to allow even more people to come, Greg, because a lot of tournaments start on the 26th or 27th. People can go ahead and visit those tournaments, but then, boy, they'll be ready come the 28th to come to Eldorado.
I think so. I get plenty of phone calls from people all over the area, and that's including Springfield, St. Louis, and, Owensboro, Kentucky area, people that just come to our tournament, and they're like, the one thing they were happy with is we can hit a couple of tournaments and still make it there. And the atmosphere is one of the great things about our tournament, and anything we can do to enhance that, I think it just makes for a better experience for everybody.
Well, Greg, we talked yesterday on the phone, and I think you indicated to me that ticket sales, chair seats for the championship game or championship day is already sold out. So if you was expecting to buy a chair seat, you're out of luck.
Yeah, that's it happens every now and then. Last year we were pretty close to selling it out. This year, all the chair seats are gone. Now that doesn't hurt us because we have a lot of seating, so it'll still be awesome. But it's a nice precursor to what people think the tournament's going to be. And anytime you get like that, and we all know the fans make the tournament, and when they turn out like they do, it's just a unique experience for those athletes to be able to play in that kind of atmosphere.
We talked with Edwards County coach Russ Gerlach last year before they went to the tournament for the first time, and we told him his team was going to get to experience something that they'll not experience in many locations. And then we spoke to him afterwards, and he was just in awe of the tournament and the feeling and the buzz and the excitement. And he said it was just a great experience for his team.
It's we were fortunate enough. Danny and I, we played in it and got to experience that. It's something you never forget. I know Webster County, Kentucky, they played in the tournament a few years ago, and the athletic director and his wife and his kids and other parts of his family, they still come over because they said you just can't beat that atmosphere and the intensity that's placed on every game.
Yeah, you mentioned some people from St. Louis. The last couple of years there where we broadcast from, there's been 4 gentlemen, and they are from St. Louis. And yeah. I got to talking to them, and they said that in St. Louis, Missouri, there's nowhere that they can experience the atmosphere of the Eldorado Holiday Tournament. And these guys come over for day 2 and day 3, and they spend the night in a motel just because they want to come see good high school basketball. But not only that, but they want to experience the gym. One guy is just impressed with the alumni band. He just absolutely loves the alumni band and the great job they do down there.
Yeah, I think it's, and with all the technology we have today, I don't think much emphasis is put on, having your high school band there and playing, and it's just it's an entertainment factor between the band and we have flip-floppers, gymnasts, and twirlers and dancers. It's turned into a pretty big production anymore.
Well, and that takes a lot of coordination and a lot of logistics behind the scenes that people don't appreciate, and so there's a lot of work that goes into this thing.
It does. It starts the day after the tournament for the next year.
Yeah.
It never stops.
Right.
But it's a fun thing to be a part of. And I joke with people all the time. One day when I'm not the athletic director, it'd be nice to just come back and sit and watch and enjoy.
Yeah. Yes, sometimes we feel like we need to move our beds in down there. Guy gets there early and he stays late. But, Greg, what a great thing. I mean, this is going to be year number for this tournament?
53.
Year number 53 already, and it just keeps rolling right on along, and it's still one of the premier tournaments there is.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with the loyalty of the fans, and a tournament's not a tournament if you don't have a fan base, and I think the fans look forward to coming. I think I've talked to people who call me every year, and they talk about being a kid and picking out their clothes for the 3 days, for their Christmas clothes, and what they're going to wear. And now they're laughing because their kids are doing the same thing. And that right there, it means a lot, because I just don't think you can have that type of atmosphere without that tradition. And I think we've been able to provide a tradition, and people have bought into it, and they make that tournament their own, and we're happy they do, and we'll do everything we can do to make that experience a positive one.
Yeah, Greg, there's a young man from North City. He's got a jersey of every team that plays at the Eldorado Holiday Tournament, and when those 2 teams are playing, he picks out the jersey of who he thinks is going to win, and that's the jersey he wears.
That's great.
I know, it's awesome. It really is. We get to see a lot of people that we don't see during a year, people that are gone, but they find their way back to the tournament, and it's just a great reunion. I think people buy the same chair seats they've bought for 10 years just to sit by somebody from the other town and gigging for 3 days. So it makes it worthwhile.
Well, Greg, and what's amazing on top of all this with the technology that we have, we've come in there and we've been able to cover this tournament. And last year, not only was it a jam-packed day, every day practically. We have 15,000 viewers on the internet watching these games of people that can't get back to Southern Illinois.
Yeah, I know, and and we've talked about it many times, and it just allows people to revisit some of their childhood, be a part of it again, even though they're away and can't get back. And that kind of connection, I think, is what helps the tournament grow, and I think it keeps it healthy. I think it keeps the rivalries healthy. I think it keeps the atmosphere the way it is, because no matter where people are, they're talking about it. And that's exactly what makes us, it makes it fun.
Oh, yeah, it's just 3 days of great basketball, and hopefully the weather will cooperate. This time of year, that's always an unknown factor. But, people, we've been very fortunate the last few years and not had to deal with any of those issues, so we're all keeping our fingers crossed for that once again.
Oh, yeah. And, and our area coaches do a great job. Our teams play hard. And they're going to bring in a good product, and it's amazing to see teams how hard they play in the tournament, in that tournament atmosphere, and that's got a lot to do with the coaches that we have. I brag on them every year at our meeting, because most people don't understand how tough a job they really have, but they do a great job and they bring a good product, and that just makes the whole tournament experience that much better.
Well, talking about your product, looks like the 16-team field is a lot of parity in this group.
Yeah, I think so. And when we end up in a situation like that, and you don't always get that. You might get 2 or 3 teams that are a little bit better, and everybody else is really having to battle. I think every game's going to be a battle. I think every team's going to have to play well, and I think there's some teams out there that started out the season kind of rough, that's had a pretty rough schedule, or tough teams that they've played, could really shine, could get a taste of, hey, this stuff's starting to work now, get a little success, and next thing you know, they've won 3 games and they're in the championship game.
Yep, that's all it takes, is just to put some good days together there. Out of those 16 teams that are in the field, I think 15 of the 16 are Illinois teams, right?
Yes, yeah. Union County, Kentucky is the only team that's out of state.
Right.
We're pretty fortunate. We've got everybody's happy being in the tournament and excited about the future. We've got teams that are interested if some spots would ever come open. So, I think we're in a healthy spot for the Eldorado Holiday Tournament.
So when is the seed meeting? When will all that take place?
It'll take place the 20th. So for anybody that's interested, that afternoon on our school webpage, there'll be a bracket that they'll be able to access and see all the carnage, because even though the governor race, they're already running ads on TV. These guys are politicians, and they get in there and start talking about their team. They do a good job and try to scratch for every spot they can get.
Right.
Greg, that's one of my goals. One of these days, I'm going to be that little mouse, and I'm going to sneak in the back door, and I'm going to hear one of these seed meetings. I think this would be something really to witness.
Well, it's for instance, we had a coach one year that said, guys, that we started out kind of rough. We're one player from being a pretty competitive team, and then he paused and he said, that player might be Michael Jordan, but we just need that one player.
Right. That's great.
Well, Coach, hey, I know you're busy. You got a lot going on. We appreciate you taking a few moments here with us, and look forward to being down there, and you'll be able to visit the games if you can't make them on foxesfans.net.
And on AreaSports.net. Yep. Mm-hmm. You bet. All right, Greg, appreciate it.
Yeah, just remember, too, we appreciate you guys and all you do for Area Sports, and keep at it, because everything you do just helps build that atmosphere. So thank you very much.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
We appreciate it, and we always have a great time. Once in a while I even end up wearing an Eldorado Eagle jersey or something.
Yeah, that's happened.
That did happen. I'm still in awe that happened.
All right, Greg, have a great weekend. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. Greg Goodley, he is the athletic director of the Eldorado Eagles, and, of course, the the real organizer behind the Eldorado Holiday Tournament. What a job he's got, too, to put that together. The logistics. People have no idea the logistics involved in doing that tournament year in and year out.
You know, he said one of the biggest challenges and one of his biggest fears, they do a great – now, you can just imagine 3,500 people in a gymnasium, what kind of trash they create.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And he said one of my biggest fears is having 16 and 17-year-old kids get this gym cleaned up in about a 20-minute space between sessions to get ready for the next session.
Yeah.
But he said, I've had good groups of kids, and he said, been very fortunate. And he said, if it wasn't for them doing their job, and that's some of the things that gets lost behind. He said, by the last day of the last game of the day, we wouldn't even be able to see the gym for all the trash.
Right. Yeah, no, that's something to think about that people just take for granted, for sure. Hey, Danny, you notice I'm wearing my Cardinal baseball jersey today, and it's not even baseball season.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty excited and pretty geeked up about what the Cardinals are doing here, acquiring Marcell Ozuna. And one of our guests on the show later on this morning is going to be Frank Cusumano, the sports director of KSDK-TV Channel 5 in St. Louis. And he's been right there in the midst of all of it and has his ear to the ground. And it'll be interesting to talk to Frank this morning to find out, are the Cardinals done yet, or we got some more deals in the wings?
They're not done.
I don't think they are either.
You know, I'm very, very happy and very, very excited. I've been one of the browbeaters about the Cardinals.
You have been
sitting on their hands, not doing anything.
You have been,
and they realized it too, and now they're trying to make some corrections. Mosaic said this weekend in a couple of interviews. He said we had a couple-year experiment there where we gave some guys an opportunity to come to the forefront and try to be the player, and it just didn't work.
Nope.
And he said, fortunately, management's and the ownership has said, hey, this is not the product we provide to the fans of St. Louis, and we're going to improve. Yeah,
and they're definitely working on it, made some moves already, and we'll hopefully look forward to some more. So Frank will be on the show with us. Also coming up, Ron Winemiller, head coach of the Benton Rangers. Wayne Harre, Hall of Fame basketball coach from Nashville.
Just so happens those two are going to play each other tonight.
How cool is that? So we'll talk to them about their season thus far and kind of preview their battle tonight between Benton and Nashville. Also, Brad Beatty, the coach of the Weber Township Trojans, will join us. He is going to be playing in the championship game tonight, the Conrad Allen Tournament, against the host Wayne City Indians. We'll be there to broadcast that game with live video streaming tonight on AreaSports.net. We'll also have a third-place game, too, between Gallatin County and Red Hill. And coming up next on the show, Scott McElravy, head coach of the Fairfield Mules, will join us. Mules with a big win last night over Edwards County in Black Diamond Conference play. We'll talk about that coming up next on the Sports Couch. Stay tuned.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
At Roadhouse Harley-Davidson in Mount Vernon, they're getting ready for Christmas, and they invite you to stop in and see their giant Christmas tree, featuring tags for the Jefferson County Toys for Kids and the United Way. And you're invited out to their Festivus celebration on December 23rd. It'll feature an ugly sweater contest, a free Festivus dinner, and feats of strength to see if you can survive walking on Legos and mousetraps. It's all happening from noon until 2 on December 23rd at Roadhouse Harley-Davidson, located on the frontage road right next to the interstate in Mount Vernon.
Underwriting on the Vine is provided by B&C Bicycle Fitness in Mount Vernon. B&C Bicycle Fitness specializes in bikes for the beginning rider to the high-end racer and can equip you with a comfortable bike to enjoy a healthy, active lifestyle with family and friends. B&C Bicycle Fitness is a full-service bicycle shop and is located at 410 South 27th Street in Mount Vernon. Their phone number is 816-4077. B&C Bicycle Fitness in Mount Vernon, where the adventure begins.
Are you going out of town for a vacation or a weekend getaway? What are you going to do with your dog? That's easy. There's Jagger's Doggy Daycare in Mount Vernon. Jagger's Doggy Daycare is your one-stop shop for overnight dog boarding, doggy daycare, as well as dog grooming and obedience dog training. It's your dog's home away from home, and they will thrive, and they'll get one-on-one attention by a great staff. More information is available on the web at jaggersdoggydaycare.com. Jaggers Doggy Daycare, 414 Main Street in Mount Vernon.
Welcome back to the Sports Couch. You're live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites. Live video streaming right now at AreaSports.net and live audio streaming at WVYN.org. A lot of you are listening through the mobile app, too, the Vine mobile app, which you can download for free from your favorite app store. Just look for the WVYN free mobile app. And, boy, we have a busy show today. We're trying to connect with Coach Scott McElravy of the Fairfield Mules. He's either got his phone turned off or he's maybe on the line with somebody else right now. Probably a lot of people want to talk to Coach McElravy as they've put together a few wins in a row now, and an impressive win last night over Edwards County, 63-40. And actually, Danny, they started off behind in that game for a while. Edwards County came out in the zone. Might have taken them off guard a little bit. They didn't handle the zone very well right away, but then they made the adjustments and turned the tide, went on about a 16-2 run, and able to turn that game around and really took control of it in the second half and went away with a 23-point victory. So pretty impressive for the Mules.
You know, that Mules team is a special group of kids. He's pretty deep, got quite a bit of size and some quickness out there, and they defeated Hamilton County on Tuesday night in a game that was a good ball game. But that 1-3-1 half-court trap that the Fairfield Mules used was very effective against the Foxes, and his team's doing a great job adapting to that. And I think the coaching staff is making some adjustments to the talent they have, and the talent's coming around to them. And you gotta. Guy told me you have to adjust to the talents of your team. You just can't say this is my system and this is what I got to do, because some years your kids are not capable of doing your system. You got to have your system do what they're capable of doing.
Well, and they've got certainly some size that they can throw out there at you, and they've been able to do that, running those big kids in and out.
And his foreign exchange student. You know, early in the season we talked to him, and he said, "Oh, he's just kind of a great kid and all this." You know, this kid's more than a great kid.
He's making an impact.
He's a good basketball player, and he's making an impact on that team.
He is making an impact. So hopefully Mac will call us back here in just a second, and we'll have a chance to talk to him live. But in the meantime, we have a busy scoreboard that you can take a look at on our sports website at AreaSports.net. So why don't you share some of those scores, Danny?
Fairfield defeated Edwards County last night, 63-40, in a game that I had. The Hamilton County Foxes come up a little short against Carmi, 52-45. Randy, that game was tied with 3:30 to go at 40, and the Foxes missed a free throw opportunity, and Carmi converted, and the Foxes kind of tightened up. They missed 5 consecutive trips, and Carmi was able to convert, and that wound up the difference in the ball game. Eldorado team that looks like they're shooting for a number 1 seed at that holiday tournament, they defeat Johnson City 82-38. Cesar with a big win over Christopher last night, 74-61. Also, in triple overtime last night, Chester defeats Trico 73-70, and that game was back and forth all night. From the Cahokia Conference, Breeze Central 64, Carlisle 48, Salem 57, Trenton Westland 52 in overtime. Salem gets a big road win. Columbia 53, Freeburg 39, Lebanon 44, Athens 30. From the Little Illini, Marshall defeats Flora 50-35. Newton over Robinson 76-68 in overtime, and Alany keeps rolling along 72-55. From the river to river, Wayne Harre's got them Nashville Spartans. How about Nashville Hornets?
You had Michigan State on your mind, didn't you?
Rolling along. Wayne has made the adjustment from girls to boys. They're on a 4-game winning streak. They defeat Sparta last night with a Wayne Harre trait defense, 52-16. Can you imagine just giving up 16 points in a game?
That's pretty impressive.
Pinckneyville, Jack Bullock gave us a tip this week. Pinckneyville's head and shoulders above everybody else in 2A, 73-60 over DuQuoin last night.
They're playing like it too, aren't they?
Anna Jonesboro trailed early in this contest, Randy. They come back and defeat Carterville 68-58. So
they trailed most of the game.
That's another team that will be at least a top 4 seed down at Eldorado.
They'll be dangerous down there.
Randy Smith Peters, Harrisburg Bulldogs, they're rolling. They're battling Eldorado for that number 1 seed, in my opinion. They defeat Massac 55-43. Murfreesboro goes on the road. All the road teams in the River to River won last night.
How about that?
That's pretty unusual.
That is.
Murphy over Harre, 60-53. Benton 49, West Frankfort 45. From the South 7, Mount Vernon goes to Centralia, and that game was a 2-point game till late in the game when the Rams had to start fouling. 45-31. Marion puts another loss on Althoff. Althoff has experienced a side of this deal they've not experienced in quite a while.
Complete turnaround for them from a year ago.
61-53, and Carbondale keeps rolling along, 43-39 over Cahokia. Woodlawn goes over and takes on their rival, the Spartans of Waltonville. I'll get the Spartans in there, 66-34. And from the Conrad Allen last night, North Clay defeated Sisney 56-49 in double overtime. And Wayne City trailed pretty well the whole game, Randy. They tied it, sent it to overtime. They beat Red Hill 48-41. So Wayne City and Weber will go for the championship there tonight.
Yep.
Gallatin County and Red Hill will go for third place, and that should be two great games.
It will be. And, again, we'll have that action for you beginning with that third-place game about 6 o'clock tonight with live video streaming on AreaSports.net, the third-place game and the championship game. So if you can't make it to the gym tonight, log on and watch the games with us live on the Internet tonight on AreaSports.net. Those should be two outstanding basketball games tonight.
A couple other games here. Cairo Pilots
right.
in 1A basketball, folks. This team's going to make some noise. They defeat Fulton County, Kentucky 75-61, and the Oakville Rockets defeat Steelville 63-53.
They had to come from behind, too.
But this Cairo team is kind of flying under the radar right now, and they've got a new coach, and I hear he has brought kind of some new
discipline.
Yeah, I was searching for a word, but anyway, control.
Yeah, deliberate offense.
And this team is off to a great start.
Yeah, they can get up and down the court and run with you like Cairo teams have in the past, but they're playing more of a disciplined, deliberate offense, and they're able to wear you down. So
yeah, so watch that team in 1A, and that 1A, they'll come out of that southwest corner down there, and they could make a deep run in this postseason.
Another score there in a non-conference game last night, Danny, that kind of raised my eyebrows a little bit, is Breeze Mater Dei losing to Piasaw Southwestern 56-50. Piasaw Southwestern must be a decent basketball team this year.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably are.
That's a big win for them. So, again, you can check out all those scores on our sports website at AreaSports.net. Back up there to that Salem game. Now, again, Trenton Westland came in state-ranked and undefeated last night, and Salem wins that game in overtime 57-52. That's a big win for Coach Andy Fernbacher.
We talked to him last Saturday morning,
right.
but I'd like to talk to him this morning because I bet his heart's still beating.
Yeah, I bet he's wearing a big smile this morning. That's a huge win for his program, and something that will hopefully propel them into some bigger things.
Well, as we talked with him last week, Randy, when he took that program over, he thought it would take 3 years to get things lined up and rolling, and this is the third year. And this Salem Wildcat team, I guarantee you there was some people that wanted them on their schedule before, and those people are running now.
Yeah, they're thinking a little bit twice about that right now, aren't they?
Yeah, sure are.
Yeah, they are. Well, I don't know what happened with Coach Scott McElravy. Maybe something family-oriented has taken place or whatever, but we have tried both calling him and texting him, and usually he's very punctual with us, so something's come up, or his phone's off, or who knows. But anyway, I'm sure he's excited about the win last night over Edwards County. They've strung together some wins in a row now, and so that's going to place Fairfield in a little bit better situation when they have that seed meeting for the Eldorado Holiday Tournament.
He's one of those guys that's going to be going down there and lobbying now. Hey, guys, we went to this Capital Classic, and this is the teams we played up there.
Right.
And we got off to a little slow start, but this is what we done. And I would love to get into this just to sit there and observe and watch these guys.
Well, and even the loss they had to Eldorado, they gave the Eagles all they wanted.
Right.
So they've picked up some big wins here recently, and very impressive last night over Edwards County. So, yeah, they've got some argument to make that they should get a decent seed there in the Eldorado Holiday Tournament.
And they will get it. They'll be a top 8 seed.
Yeah. Oh, I think they will be, for sure. And he's going to be trying to lobby to get a top 5, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm saying he's going to be a 4 or 5.
So we'll see what happens. But, hey, when we come back, we're going to visit with Coach Brad Beatty of the Weber Township Trojans. Hey, they had a major victory this past week.
Signature win.
A signature win, that's right. We'll talk to him about that coming up next on the Sports Couch.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
Music and ministry on the Vine is provided by Tony Wilt State Farm Insurance Agency in Mount Vernon. Tony Wilt State Farm Insurance Agency specializes in providing your life, health, auto, and home insurance, as well as complete financial services. They are located at 4121 South Water Tower Place in Mount Vernon. Their phone number is 242-1421, and their website is TonyWilt.com. We are grateful for their underwriting support.
Choosing a construction company is a big decision because many companies come and go. That's why Greenwald & Sons Construction is a name you can trust. With over 40 years of experience, Greenwald & Sons Construction in Wayne City and Mount Vernon specialize in residential and commercial construction, as well as remodeling. They'll be happy to talk to you about a church addition, business expansion, or new home construction. Greenwald & Sons Construction, the experts you can depend upon. Their number is 895-2044.
This is Kima for Meager Pest Control. We are honored to partner in radio ministry with 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine. Meager Pest Control is Christian-owned and veteran-owned and offers effective pest control services using industry-leading products with proven methods of application. Meager Pest Control covers your residential and commercial pest control needs.
Call my daddy at 315-5212 or find us on Facebook. Meager Pest Control!
And welcome back to the Sports Couch. You're live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio. Also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites. Live video streaming right now at AreaSports.net. And live audio streaming at WVYN.org. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio along with Danny Anselment. Well, tonight it's the championship game of the Conrad Allen Holiday Tournament. 64 years that tournament's been going on, and the Weber Township Trojans have tried to get into that championship game for a number of years. They've had some good teams come in that tournament and just couldn't get it done. Well, they got it done now, and they are going to be in the championship game tonight against the host Wayne City Indians. And joining us right now is the head coach of the Trojans, and that's Brad Beatty. Good morning, Brad. How are you?
Hey, fellas, I am in Marion, Illinois already getting oil changed. And so, hey, even though it's a big championship game, hey, that thing was on the wife's to-do list. So,
yeah, well, you gotta take care of those honey-do lists. I know all about that, so that's an important thing
Absolutely.
to do. But, well, you probably had a hard time sleeping last night because you're probably geeked up and ready to play tonight, aren't you?
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you got a quick turnaround. You go watch Wayne City and figure out who's going to win that game. And Red Hill. You don't see them very much, so you're trying to get a scouting report on them, and then you go watch it and then find out who wins. And now you got to go to work. So it was a late night trying to put things together, and then of course today we'll go through a walkthrough and head over there for the long trip and throw it up and get after it.
Well, we talked about it in our broadcast the other day when we did your game against Gallatin County. That was a signature win for your basketball program. That's the kind of win that you need for that program to be able to go to the next level, isn't it?
It was. I mean, we've been so close before. I mean, we've had some big games where we just got close and either just couldn't pull it out or lost in overtime. And so for our guys to win against a caliber of a team like Gallatin County and to get a win in that situation, I think it's big, especially this part of the season. You got to get some things going and then get some wins to where it gives you the confidence that just not only talk about making that run, but you can prove to your kids that hey, with the effort and execution, you can get a win and move on. So I think it's big, but hey, we're right back tonight, even a bigger game. It's against a conference foe. It's a team that's 8 miles from us, and so it's a rivalry. And so, hey, you couldn't get any better than that.
You don't think there'll be anybody there to watch tonight, do you?
I think there'll be plenty of seats. I don't think there'll be a slow. So that's what I told my wife. She said, "What time do you think I ought to get there?" I said, "As soon as we leave this place, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to head over there."
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, me and Randy was just talking about that. We said, "Well, what time do you think we need to get there?" And he said, "Early."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, talk about the game you witnessed last night between Wayne City and Red Hill, because Red Hill had the Indians down most of the game until they finally forced it to overtime, right?
Yeah, it's a weird game. Red Hill, they took the crowd out of the game. I mean, the Wayne City fans are sitting there, kind of watching Wayne City, and they was struggling to put the ball in the basket, but defensively they just stayed after it. And, then towards the end of the game, they tightened the score up a little bit, and that press got after Red Hill, and I thought Red Hill got tight and really wasn't looking to score, but more or less just to survive, and Wayne City took advantage of it. And next thing you know, a couple turnovers here and there and a foul, and then the Dickey kid hits a big three, and next thing you know, it's tied up, headed into overtime. And like I said tonight, when you give up a lead and then you head into overtime, it takes a lot of gas out of your team, and I thought that's what happened to Red Hill last night. And once Wayne City got that 3-point lead, there was no looking back for them.
Yeah, I thought even in the game the other night between you and Gallatin County, when your team fought and battled and got that game to overtime, the momentum just switched to your Trojans.
Yeah, I told our guys in the huddle, I said, guys, hey, listen, Gallatin County's not going to quit. But, hey, they just gave up a last-second basket to send it overtime, and their minds are probably still on that. So, it's something we have to take advantage of. But, hey, when you're Coach Miller and you got 34 Goebel on your team, I think he probably felt pretty confident about it, and I would too. So they're such a good team, and they're going to make some noise. They're going to make some noise down there at Eldorado, and then as the season goes on, you're going to hear more about them. That team's just too talented to let one loss like that affect them. So they're not done. You'll hear them.
Well, another team that's not done is the Weber Trojans. Charles Neal in that fourth quarter. Every team has got to have somebody to say, "Hey guys, give me the ball, get on my back, and let's get this job done." And Charles Neal done that the other night for your team, Coach.
Yes, he did. The scary part about it is Charles even came into the huddle in the first quarter and said, "Coach, I just don't have it tonight." And we basically played the first three quarters with Charles having a subpar game, but in the fourth quarter he came to the after the third quarter break and had that look in his eye, and which was nice to see. And then big senior like that, he stepped up, put the team on his back, and that's a big basket, and then he got a big and one to give us the lead. So, yeah, Charles is just a warrior. I mean, he's a kid that's just going to give it to you night in and night out, and you never have to worry about him. And then when he knows that his game's off, he likes to get his teammates involved. And so that's what you love about him.
Well, it seemed like that his shots were falling short throughout the game, like he didn't have his legs or something. And so you said that he indicated to you he didn't have it, and we kind of witnessed that too. He just the shots were hitting the front of the iron and just short, like he didn't have the strength of the legs. But boy, when the game was on the line, he wanted the basketball, like Danny said, and that big shot he hit in the fourth quarter to bank it in, to tie it and send it to overtime was something else. And then in overtime, he kind of took over as well.
Yeah, he did. And the one kid that nobody really talks about is Dalton Hart. I mean, he's a kid that just
right.
He had 9 points. He had a couple big threes that got us right back there. But the charge that he took, I told him in practice yesterday. He said, "Dalton, that's a kid right there that's not afraid in a big moment to stand in there and take a big charge for your team." And he does so much for us. And I know he doesn't get a lot of press clippings, but I told Dalton, I said, "Hey, every good team that makes a run has to have a Dalton Hart on their team, and we're happy to have him."
Yeah, Coach, you got a well-rounded group there, and a lot of people know the roles, and you got a lot of weapons, but it's kind of like Dave Lee always said: to be the man, you got to want to be the man. And Charles Neal assumed that role for you the other night.
He is, and he's such a great kid. That's why I just wish everybody could personally get to know him, because they see the player out on the court, but he's such a better kid off the floor, and that speaks volumes of him. Because he's always one of the first ones to practice. I've never ever had to tell him to practice hard. He's extremely coachable. I mean, when there's sometimes that I'm getting on him pretty good, his eyes never leave mine, and that's just huge for a coach to have a kid like that, and then to let his playing lead, and the team sees that, and that we follow that, and they feed off that, and so I'm extremely happy for him, but I will be one sad coach at the end of the season to lose a player like that.
Yeah, I'm sure that's right.
I'd say when that whole group walks out that door, you're going to be sitting there saying, "Wow."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's been a fun ride with them.
Well, I thought another key in the game, the win against Gallatin County the other day, was late in the fourth quarter and also in the overtime, there were some 50-50 balls, some loose balls that, again, could have went either way. And it seemed like you came up with more of those 50-50 balls, and each possession was so important in that situation.
It was, and that's why we talked about in the huddle. Hey, the possessions in a game like that is gold, and it's just something you just don't want to give away. And we, up on our dry eraser board, we have 50-50 balls and free throws. I said whoever wins that battle is going to end up winning that game. And to get the 50-50 balls against a team like Gallatin County speaks highly of our team, because Gallatin County, they just don't give up rebounds, and they don't give up loose basketballs. And if there's a ball on the floor, hey, they're expected to be on the floor. And so I think we learned more from that game with Gallatin than we have in past seasons of losing those close games. And I think, Gallatin showed us how to compete, and so hopefully we got to take that lesson and apply it to tonight and the rest of the season. And I think good things are in store for us down the road.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, I want to wish you the best of luck tonight. I'm sure it'll be a festive atmosphere, and look forward to being with Randy on the call of the game. So anybody that can't get there, or you got some followers away from Weber, make sure they know they can log on and watch your team on AreaSports.net tonight.
We will, and we really do appreciate the coverage that you guys give us.
All right, Brad. Well, good luck tonight, and we'll see you at the gym, okay?
Sounds great. Appreciate it.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. That is Brad Beatty, head coach of the Weber Township Trojans. We had Jeff Morris, the head coach of Wayne City, on with us last week, so that's why we don't have him on this morning, and we have these other coaches with us too. But I know Jeff's got to be elated about coming from behind and winning that game last night, and he'll have his Indians ready to play. It sounds like that the Indians maybe just had a cold night of shooting, but as Brad just said, in witnessing the game himself, they didn't turn it off defensively. And that's the thing. As long as you're still getting after it defensively,
that's right. You give yourself a chance
to win, and they did.
And that's what happened last night.
Right. So it should be a great, great championship game tonight.
That third-place battle will be just as good.
Oh, yeah, it will be.
I'm telling you, if you want to see some good high school basketball, get up to the Conrad Allen tonight.
Well, that's right.
Before we go to break real quick, I want to send a shout-out to Michael Reynolds of the Waltonville Junior High girls basketball team over there, Randy. Mm-hmm. This young lady is a 5'7" guard, and she scored 56 points in a 65-58 win Wednesday night over Bethel McClellan.
Did she ever miss a shot?
Evidently not.
That's pretty amazing.
That's pretty amazing for a young lady to put 56 on the board by herself.
Yeah, I bet she was ready for a nap after that.
So anyway.
What an effort.
Big shout-out to that young lady.
Okay. Well, if you've been excited about what the St. Louis Cardinals have done in their recent moves here during the winter meetings and getting Marcel Ozuna added to the roster and some other rumblings that are going on, well, you'll be excited to hear from our next guest. We're going to have Frank Cusumano from KSDK-TV Channel 5 in St. Louis joining us next on the Sports Couch. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Monthly financial support of local Christian radio is provided by Home Source Warehouse in Mount Vernon. Located 4 miles north of Mount Vernon on Route 37, Home Source Warehouse offers a warehouse full of quality furniture and mattresses with legendary service. Open Thursday and Friday 10 to 6, Saturday 10 to 3. You can find them on Facebook, and their website is homesourcewarehouse.net. Their phone number is 204-5515. Home Source Warehouse, where style is affordable.
You've heard the old saying, practice makes perfect. Well, there's actually a lot of truth to that, and you can get one-on-one instruction in baseball, softball, basketball, as well as speed and agility drills at the Sports Zone in Fairfield. The Sports Zone has been in business for quite some time now and has helped many area boy and girl athletes excel in their sport of choice. Lessons and practice times are available at convenient times that meet your schedule. The Sports Zone is located on Delaware Street in Fairfield, and we appreciate their support.
Real Life Radio thanks Fairfield Printing and Graphics for their partnership in local Christian radio ministry. Fairfield Printing and Graphics offers custom sizing for banners and signs, as well as yard signs, corrugated signs, and metal signs. Fairfield Printing and Graphics also specializes in custom t-shirts, business cards, wedding invitations, hats, bags, and much more. They are located at number 5 Williamson Drive in Fairfield, and their phone number is 842-4048.
When it comes to custom cabinets and furniture, Barbary Woodworks in Fairfield is the name you need to know for American-made cabinets with American-made products. For the kitchen and bath, they also feature DuPont, Corian, Zodiac, and Granite. Barbary Woodworks also specializes in hardwood flooring, trim doors, and windows. In fact, they have a showroom where you can see it all at 307 Highland Avenue in Fairfield. Or go online and visit their website at barbarieswoodworks.com and visit them on Facebook as well.
Authentic Mexican food is right here close to home at Agave Mexican Restaurant in Mount Vernon. At Agave, you can choose from a large menu of your favorite Mexican dishes featuring your choice of chicken, beef, fish, shrimp, steak, or pork. If you prefer vegetarian or gluten-free, we cover that as well. Plus, there is a discount for kids on Sunday at Agave. We also have great French fries, burgers, and chicken fingers. At Agave, we have many daily specials on our Facebook page, and our full menu is on our website at agavemexicandining.com, where we are happy to be an underwriting sponsor of the Vine.
Welcome back to the Sports Couch here live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites at AreaSports.net with live video streaming and with audio streaming at WVYN.org. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio along with Danny Anselment, and of course everyone here in Cardinal Nation is excited about the moves that the Cardinals have made here during the baseball winter meetings. The acquisition of Marcell Ozuna definitely gives a power bat to the Cardinals that they drastically needed with 37 home runs, 124 RBIs, and batting average of .312. That looked pretty good in the middle of that lineup. And somebody who's right in the middle of all that and knows exactly what's going on and might be able to give us some insight on some other possible moves is Frank Cusumano. He is the sports director of KSDK-TV Channel 5 in St. Louis. He joins us now. Good morning, Frank. How are you?
Randy, great to be with you. Danny, great to be with you. It's a beautiful Saturday morning here in St. Louis.
Well, you've got to be excited about the moves that the Cardinals have made, and it's been a long time coming, but it's something we really needed. Ozuna's going to look good in a Cardinal uniform, isn't he?
Well, he really is exactly what the doctor ordered. You know, I was looking at some numbers last night, and there was only one left fielder in all of baseball who had a higher OPS, and that left fielder was Tommy Pham. And think about this. Of all the players in the major leagues last year that came to the plate with a bat in their hands, I think it was 951 to be exact, only 2 had more RBIs than his 124. Now, I know some of the metrics people and some of these modern analytics people, they'll say, oh, RBIs don't mean anything. No, they do mean something, okay? And if you put that guy batting fourth with on-base machines like Carpenter, Pham, and Fowler ahead of him, who knows? Maybe that 124 RBI total doesn't even grow higher.
Yeah, that's exciting to think about. It really is. And you've got your ear close to the situation there. Do you think the Cardinals are done, or you think that we've still got a chance at Machado or Longoria or somebody like that?
Well, I did spend some time on the phone with a high-ranking Cardinal executive about 48 hours ago. And because I was getting the impression that they were pretty close on Colome, the outstanding reliever with Tampa. Alex Colome had 47 saves last year. He said, I think you're mistaken about that. He said, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I am saying that we feel really good about some of our young power arms and with some of the relievers like Gregerson that we've acquired, and I think they're hoping for a comeback from Brett Cecil. I think they can get by with maybe a Dakota Hudson or a Jordan Hicks or one of those guys in double and triple A right now who threw 95 and maybe they start him in a 7th inning role and then they eventually move to that 9th inning role. I'm not saying Colome is done. I am saying it's not as far along as some of the national media members have kind of written about.
Mm-hmm. Well, I understand. Go ahead.
Yeah, and in terms of another player like Machado being acquired, let's face it, the Orioles are asking for two outstanding ready-made starters. So we put two and two together, and you come up with, Alex Reyes and Luke Weaver. The executive that I spoke to said there is no way in the world we're giving up 11 years combined of having them under control for a summer of Machado. And he says, I'm not sure. He says, my gut feels I don't think we'd even give up one of those pitchers for Manny Machado. 6 years of Alex Reyes for a summer of Machado. So I do believe that the starting rotation should be addressed because I think they're counting on Adam Wainwright, and they said, he's completely healthy. The surgery was minor. He's doing well. And I guess if I'm paying a guy $19 million, I'd expect him to be a starter and throw 150 innings. But if I were them, I would definitely add a starter because that's kind of the one dent in their armor right now. I'm worried about their starting rotation.
Yeah, I understand. As far as Machado is concerned, and like you said, you might only have him for 1 year, is there any situation that you're aware of where Machado might have some close relationships with somebody on the Cardinal team, such as a Martinez or something like we saw with Ozuna? Is there any situation there that might make him want to sign an extension or something with the Cardinals if we were able to acquire him?
I have not gotten that impression at all. And then you throw in the fact that he's a Boris client, and you also throw in the fact the era we're living in. I mean, the old days, you could trade for Scott Rowland and then sign him. You could trade for Mark McGwire and then sign him. That just doesn't happen very often. And with the Las Vegas winter meetings next year in Las Vegas, I think the Machado and Harper would like to be the first $400 million players. I don't think you could trade for him and keep him. Stranger things have happened, but I just doubt it.
Okay, well then, if we have to pass on Machado, what do you think about Longoria, and is there strong interest there like we're hearing?
I think there is. The problem with Longoria is that contract is so excessive on the back end. See, I think, the Longoria thing was one that, hey, if you give us Colome, we'll pick up that blockbuster contract. He's a fine player, and I think they'd be an interesting team if you had Carpenter at first and he at third and Jed Jerko and Jose Martinez as your bench. I mean, that's a loaded, lethal lineup. I'm just not sure if that's going to happen. I don't think they're going to say, oh, hey, let's call Tampa now and let's make a deal for Longoria. I think, if Chris Archer's in it, if Jake Odorizzi's in it, then you take that big contract. Yeah.
Yeah. Jake Odorizzi, that's an interesting name. It'd be interesting to see him come to the Cardinals organization, having just grown up across the river there in Illinois.
He'd be ideal. He'd be like a 3 or 4. He's an innings eater, good athlete, great kid. Give you 160 innings, maybe win 12, 13 games on a good team. He's not real expensive. I think he's a great idea.
Okay. Anything else that you're hearing from Cardinal camp that might be some names that we could look at potentially becoming part of the organization?
I don't think they're going to be in the retail industry for a closer. The Wade Davis and the Holland thing. Sometimes it's just not good business to sink 4 years at 15, 17 million into a closer when you got, maybe guys in your organization that can do it. So, I would just kind of keep an eye on the names we discussed, a third or fourth starter and maybe another bullpen arm. But, who knows? If I'm Baltimore and I know that there's no way in the world I can catch the Yankees, okay? So I have to move Machado. And it's getting later and later. Maybe I don't ask for Reyes and Weaver, and maybe I take Hicks and Flaherty, and that would make you think twice about it, because if you put Machado into that lineup, well, the Cubs are then a wild card team right away.
Well, Frank, one of the things I saw, the Cardinals are demanding a 72-hour window to negotiate with him, and if they don't get that window to negotiate about a possible extension, they're not even interested in making an offer.
Yeah, I've read that too, but I'm just not buying it. I mean, I guess the Orioles can give it to him. It's no skin off their back, but
yeah, but they won't. They won't.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is, if you're Manny Machado and you're on the cusp of $400 million, why would you all of a sudden cut yourself short. And I just don't think so. I mean, look, we know what a great baseball town we have. You just got to be smart about this.
Well, I don't think he's a fit for the Cardinals myself. I think Ozuna is a much better fit than Stanton was going to be. This is a guy that's going to come to St. Louis. He's going to fall in love with the city of St. Louis and its baseball fans, and you're going to see a guy really take it to the next level, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you. I love everything I read about him, and I talk to media members about him. They said he's about the most media-friendly guy in the organization. He could become a real star here. It'd be great to keep him more than 2 years, too.
Well, I think, the indications I've read and some of the things he's talked about, him and Yadier Molina and Carlos Martinez are great friends. They've said nothing but great things about the city of St. Louis, and they've spent a lot of time playing some baseball together in that World Classic, and he's very excited about being a St. Louis Cardinal, and that's what you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, how about the thing on Stephen Piscotty? I thought that was a classy move by the Cardinals. What do you think, Frank?
It really was, and what I can't understand is, I tweeted out what a nice gesture by the Cardinals to do this, and everybody said, they just want to get rid of his contract, and they just want to get prospects. Well, then they could have done business with 28 other teams, okay?
Right.
They decided that they want to get this young man home to be with his mother, Gretchen, who's battling ALS. I thought it was a really great gesture. Does it clear a little payroll? Yeah, but it's not that ridiculous of a contract. If Piscotty performs like most of us, he's going to perform. I mean, that's not a crazy contract. I mean, he'll hit 20 home runs with 80 RBIs, and I think, in a normal year, he'll play good defense.
Yeah. Hey, one more quick question before I let you go, because I know you got another appointment you got to take care of at 9:30. Kent Williams, former Mount Vernon player, of course, that we know real well and good friends with, now the head coach there at De Smet High School, and I know you got to be excited about that. I think that's your alma mater, too, isn't it?
It is, yes. And, Kent is just a wonderful guy, as you know, and I always say to myself, if you want to talk about maxing out your ability, whoever maxed out their skill level more than Kent Williams? I mean, he's a skinny, 6'2", non-leaping white kid who scores 2,000 points in high school, 2,000 points in college.
Yeah.
The problem he's got at De Smet is they've been down for a while, and they play in this hellacious conference with CBC and Vianney and SLU. The talent level is not there yet. He's got a freshman from Africa who's 6'8", who's going to be a good player. And I think when people around town know what a quality guy Kent Williams is, they're going to continue to get more and more good players.
Well, I think he's such a great fit for De Smet, and what a good hire he was.
Yeah, absolutely. We're thrilled to have him there, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Okay, Frank. Hey, we'll let you go. We appreciate your time as always. Keep up the good work there in St. Louis, and we'll talk to you later down the line, okay?
Great. I really appreciate it, guys. Have a good one. Take
All right,
care.
you too. Okay, bye-bye. Frank Cusumano, the sports director over at KSDK-TV Channel 5 in St. Louis, and always good to chat with Frank. And, that's a good point he makes about Machado. The chances really of signing Machado beyond 1 year, probably pretty slim, because he's one of those guys that could be that first $400 million guy. And I think the key thing that Frank mentioned there that we all forget about, maybe some of us didn't realize, is who his agent is.
Well, Boris is not.
Boris is, yeah.
He's not going to let him sign.
No.
And another thing that we didn't mention, the owner of the Orioles has basically put a demand on that. If he trades this guy to you this year, you will not trade him to the Yankees.
Yeah, right.
During the season.
Yeah. And the fact that they're wanting Reyes and one of our other top-level guys, and like Frank said, why would you want to trade and give up 11 years of control over two starters in exchange for having Machado for just 1 year? Well,
I just don't think – I think there's some other pieces that would help the Cardinals more than that piece right there.
Yeah. And Longoria is a possibility, but I'm not as excited about the numbers on Longoria and the fact that he's 32 years old already. To me, that's kind of like going down that road we went down a few years ago with Peralta. We thought that we could still get a couple of good years out of Peralta, and that just didn't work out that well for us. I mean, he was past his prime, and I'm thinking that Longoria's past his prime too. I mean, last year he only hit 261. He had some injuries. The one good thing about Longoria, if you did go out and pursue him and get him, is he was the Gold Glove third baseman in the American League.
He's going to be a secondary piece in the puzzle. He's going to be a throw-in. The Cardinals are not going to get him. Will we take him and can we use him? Yeah, he can help this team.
Chris Archer is who we want.
Or Cologne,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Right.
He's going to be a secondary piece. I could see 3 pieces coming if the Cardinals could put a package together.
Mm-hmm.
But you know.
Well, if you want to improve the defense, putting a Gold Glover at third base would improve your defense.
And he's not going to hurt you with the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when these guys, like Matt Holliday said, when you come to baseball heaven, you don't realize how great it is till you're there.
Mm-hmm.
And older guys like him, Randy, really thrive on that opportunity.
Yeah.
Here's a guy playing in front of 14,000 fans tonight, and he comes to St. Louis and plays in front of 45,000 fans.
Right.
They go on the road, and they play in front of 40 to 50,000 fans because all the teams that play sell out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, take last year the Milwaukee Brewers was averaging 28,000 a game, and they averaged 41,000 when the Cardinals played.
Yeah, right.
Does that tell you anything?
That tells you something, yeah. It's really something. Well, all right. We could talk about the Cardinals much longer, but we got a couple more guests on the show to come. Wayne Harre, coach of the Nashville Hornets, is going to join us, and also Ron Winemiller, the coach of the Benton Rangers. So stay tuned. We'll be back with more in just a moment as the Sports Couch continues right here.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
Underwriting on the Vine is made possible by Iconic Studio in Fairfield. If you're looking for something different, Iconic Studio in Fairfield specializes in modern, high-fashion images with an unlimited supply of backgrounds. They are national award-winning photographers at Iconic Studio in Fairfield. Their phone number is 842-9542, and their website is iconicstudio.com.
Joe's Pizza in Mount Vernon is a faithful underwriting sponsor of 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine. Joe's Pizza offers Italian cuisine as well as delicious sandwiches, salads, and desserts. Joe's Pizza also features daily pasta and pizza specials and all-you-can-eat spaghetti on Thursdays. Joe's Pizza is located at 819 Jordan Street in Mount Vernon. Their phone number is 242-2600, and their website is orderjoes.com.
And welcome back to the Sports Couch here live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites. Live video streaming right now at AreaSports.net and live audio streaming at WVYN.org. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio along with Danny Anselment, the Benton Rangers, and Coach Ron Winemiller. Another big win last night. The Battle of Franklin County as they won last night over West Frankfort, and they got a big game tonight that we can preview as well as Ron joins us right now. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Great. Good to have you on the show. And win last night over the West Frankfort Redbirds, 49-45. Tell us about that.
Well, it's kind of what you expect in a rivalry game. It's one of those things that comes down to the last couple possessions, and we were lucky enough to make some free throws down the stretch and be good enough defensively to get some big stops when we needed them.
So tell us about the progress of your team this year. I know a whole different look to your team this year because you lost some great talent by graduation, but the cupboard wasn't completely bare, and things seem to be going pretty well. Tell us your assessment of your team so far.
Well, we brought back 4 guys that played substantial minutes on our team last year, and Hamilton Page and Parker Williams started every game last year, and Kate Thomas and Gary Gwynn were both the first 2 guys off the bench. So we brought back some guys that have played a lot of varsity minutes and have started a lot of games, just kind of feeling our way out for some new roles this year. And, we lost a lot of scoring in our backcourt, so Derek and Kate have had to pick up the slack in that regard, and they've done a really good job so far early in the season.
Well, your Benton Rangers team will be traveling up to Nashville tonight to take on Wayne Harre. What's some of your expectations about that game tonight, Ron?
Well, Nashville's got a really good team, and they have a great coach, just like they have, go back 25 years from Darren Lee to Brad Weathers, now to Wayne Harre. So they're very well coached. They do what they do very well. They really guard you, do a good job of not making a lot of mistakes defensively. So you're going to have to be able to take advantage of maybe not a mistake, but you're going to have to make some shots because they're not going to make a whole lot of mistakes and give you open looks. So their length really bothers me. We're not very big, and they are. So that's one of the biggest concerns I have right now is just how long they are at almost every position.
Your team traveled over to Carmine White County on Tuesday night. You pick up a big non-conference win over there. The Benton Rangers kind of rolling along right here right now.
Well, I don't know if you sense the theme, but you're saying travel a lot. So we've been on the road. We've had one home game so far. We've played 8 games now. It'll be our 9th game, and we've played 8 of them on the road. And that kind of concerned me with it having I don't want to say a young team, but a team that was kind of finding itself early in the year. And these guys hasn't always been pretty, but they've really guarded. They really compete. They've won a lot of games at a lot of different levels, so they know how to win and close out games. And I thought Carmine was just kind of a microcosm of what that's been so far. Getting a big stop when you need it, making free throws, putting the ball in the right guy's hands. And, as a result of that, I think we've had a different guy every night that's kind of stepped up. Last Friday, Cade had an unbelievable game against Harre. Jared played really well at Carmine. I thought Hamilton Page played one of his best games of the year last night at West Frankfort. Brett Bonenberger came in and gave us some great minutes. Parker Williams was really good in spurts last night. So, we've had it's not like it's this guy's got to do this for us to win. It's been some different guys on different nights in order for us to be successful, and that's how we're going to have to play all year.
And that makes your Benton Rangers team a dangerous team because there's just really no one certain person you can concentrate on, and it makes the defense have to work a little harder. And changing the subject a little bit, I know everybody's looking forward to Christmas tournaments and stuff, but yesterday I got a copy of the 2018 BIT schedule. You have got it set and released, and what a great tournament this is going to be. You got on Monday, Meridian's going to take on Cesar, Pinckneyville, Carlisle, and then they'll follow up with the Benton Rangers in Hamilton County, and that'll just be the beginning of a great week of basketball.
Well, I think Pinckneyville's a prohibitive favorite coming into it. I mean, from what they've done early in the year, they've really done a good job of kind of doing what people thought they would do this year. They have so much depth. I think the other 5 teams in it, though, you could probably play it the week of the BIT and then come back 2 weeks later, and it probably would have a different order of finish because those other 5 teams are pretty even. I know that Meridian, maybe their record doesn't show it. They start off with the Pyramid, but I've seen them play a couple times. They have a really good team. Cesar's finally getting healthy, and you see what they can do when Gunner gets healthy, and they're winning some big games. Carlisle has a great player in Seaver, and it's a very, very much improved Fox's team. We saw them at Goreville. They're just continuing to get better. They, played Carmine tight last night. They've won some games as well. So I think it's a very, very balanced tournament from 1 to 6.
Yeah, I think it'll be another prohibitive great week of basketball at the BIT, which always is, Ron. So look forward to that coming up also.
I'm sorry, missed your question.
Oh, no, I said we'll look forward to coming over there once again to the BIT. Should be another great week of basketball over there.
Oh, it absolutely should. It should be an unbelievable week of basketball. And, I think people are excited about it. I think it's one of those things that we love hosting it. It gives us a chance to showcase our facilities here. I think the Rich Heron Gym is second to none in Southern Illinois. As you saw last year when we hosted the sectional, and we got to show it off to some different people, and our administration's done a great job of doing some upgrades, and man, we love playing here, and we love hosting that tournament.
Well, Ron, if somebody was to tell you at this time of the season, 8 games into the season, that your Benton Rangers would be 7-1, you'd probably take that, wouldn't you?
not sure, and that's what we talked about with the kids a little bit. We haven't always played our best basketball at times, but, they're still finding a way to win. And in the end of the day, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to win games. And I think this team's getting better. I thought we played better last night than we did Tuesday at Carmine. Hopefully we'll play better tonight at Nashville than we did last night. And then come back next Thursday and play even better at home again against Harrisburg going into Christmas. So I think we're getting better. The kids come to practice every day with that in mind, and as a result, I think you're starting to see us progress a little bit as a team, and everybody start to kind of fill their role a little bit better every game.
Well, I think starting the year 7-1 and having played so many games on the road like you have, I think that's huge for your program, I believe.
Oh, absolutely. And especially when you go on the road that long, at some point it's going to spin, and we're going to be home a lot in January and the first part of February. So we're looking forward to a long homestand. I think in January we go to Murfreesboro and we go to Harre, and other than that, we're home the rest of January and the first weekend of February. So hopefully we can kind of weather the storm a little bit on the road and through Christmas, and then we get home and be able to win some games at home and kind of get rolling into VIP time.
Yeah, you are in the Duster Thomas Classic for Christmas time, December 29th and 30th. You're going to see some good competition in that tournament for sure.
Yeah, and it's a chance for us to. I'm not crazy about the setup of playing 4 games in 2 days, but I really like the fact that we get to see different people. Cissna Park's up in the Champaign area, and then Greenville, who we actually played this summer, kind of a fluke deal. We played them Greenville at their high school. So we're somewhat familiar with Greenville. Cissna Park we don't know a lot about yet. We got some tape on them. We're going to go see them play next Wednesday. I know they have a boatload of size, which doesn't really bode well for us, but I'm looking forward to playing different people. Then if we were able to do good that first day, turn around and play the Panthers in the semifinals. And we're looking forward to just a lot of really good That's what's good about that tournament is you get to see a lot of different people, and I like that. I don't like playing the same team 4 or 5 times. So we're going to get to see a lot of different people in that, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think Trenton Westland's in that tournament too, aren't they? Are they in that tournament?
Sure are. Yeah, they sure are.
Yeah,
we played them last year, and they bring everybody back.
Right.
Man, they're really good. I know they got beat last night at Salem, but
right.
I think that maybe that's their first loss.
It is.
Year, so.
It is their first loss, right?
And we've stolen some stuff from Coach Brady. I'm not too proud to admit that. We played him last year at Christmas, and I think he was kind of looking forward to this year a little bit because he's been waiting on these guys, kind of like last year. We've been waiting on our guys a little bit to get seniors and get mature. And he and I had a long talk for probably about 45 minutes in the tunnel after we played him. And he's a guy I got a lot of respect for, and he's a guy that basketball has kind of, I don't want to say brought us together, but it's made us be acquaintances, and he's a guy I lean on some, and he leans on me, and we trade tape, and I got a lot of respect for Brent Brady.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, going to wish you the best of luck up there as you travel to Nashville tonight to take on a good Hornets squad. Always appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you over there at that holiday tournament.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. The one negative is I was looking forward to the EHT being 26, 27, 28, where there's a lot of people there we need to scout, but they moved that thing back, so we'll only get to come the first day and see some people. So I'm looking forward to the pairings for that coming out. That's a tournament I grew up going to as a kid, and always look forward to going to at least one day of it to be able to watch some really good basketball. I think that's the best, quote-unquote small tournament in the South, maybe in the state, and a lot of tradition, and we look forward to seeing you guys over there as well.
All right, Ron.
All right, we'll see you over there.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Fellas, anytime.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ron Winemiller, the head coach of the Benton Rangers, and he's
got to be pretty happy being 7-1 on the season.
Oh, I think so, and having played so many of the games on the road.
Yeah, they've only played one home game.
Yeah, and they're on the road again tonight at Nashville.
They'll have their hands full today.
Next week they have a home game, but look who they're playing for that home game.
Harrisburg. Merry Christmas.
Maybe he needs to have a chat with the athletic director.
I noticed one thing, though, that has occurred quite a bit. Those Friday games next week, most of those have been moved up to Thursday night. The Hamilton County Eldorado game is going to be on Thursday night.
Is that right?
His Benton Harrisburg game is going to be on Thursday night.
Because of Christmas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most schools are getting out early on Friday, and the people are wanting to start to travel for the holiday season.
Nothing wrong with that. That's great.
So the schools have moved those games up to Thursday night, so it won't be Friday night basketball next week. It'll be Thursday night basketball.
That's a good idea. I don't see anything wrong with that. I just hope they let the officials know. So they all show up on the right night.
Well, I'm pretty sure they probably got – I'd say they got the memo.
I'd say they probably have. Okay. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk to the other side of tonight's matchup between Benton and Nashville, and that is Wayne Harre, Hall of Fame coach from the Nashville Hornets. He joins us next. Stay tuned.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
Fairfield Memorial Hospital is happy to announce the expansion of Horizon Healthcare to the community of Sisney. The office located on the Sisney Square opens in early 2018. It will offer a wide variety of health services by a dedicated staff who were carefully chosen for the care they are able to offer the citizens of Sisney and northern Wayne County. Among the health providers who will be seeing patients in Sisney are medical doctor Marla Laficus and certified nurse practitioner Sherry Mavis. Keep listening for details on the opening of Horizon Healthcare's Sisney Clinic in the coming days.
Programming on 90.9 The Vine is underwritten by Provision Eye Care. Located in Mount Vernon, Provision Eye Care has a 90-year history of serving Jefferson and surrounding counties. They provide quality comprehensive eye exams along with diagnosing and treating eye disease. Provision Eye Care is located at 112 South 42nd Street, and their phone number is 244-0508. Dr. Jennifer Bass would like to share a passage from Proverbs 29:18. Where there is no vision, the people perish.
Are you going out of town for a vacation or a weekend getaway? What are you going to do with your dog? That's easy. There's Jaggers Doggy Daycare in Mount Vernon. Jaggers Doggy Daycare is your one-stop shop for overnight dog boarding, doggy daycare, as well as dog grooming and obedience dog training. It's your dog's home away from home. They will thrive, and they'll get one-on-one attention by a great staff. More information is available on the web at jaggersdoggydaycare.com. Jaggers Doggy Daycare, 414 Main Street in Mount Vernon. Welcome back to the Sports Couch here live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites. Live video streaming right now at AreaSports.net and live audio streaming at WVYN.org. I'm Randy Olson along with Danny Anselment, and tonight, big game between the Benton Rangers and the Nashville Hornets. We had Coach Ron Winemiller on with us a few moments ago. We're going to talk to the other side of tonight's matchup right now, and that's Hall of Fame coach Wayne Harre joins us from the Nashville Hornets. Good morning, Wayne. How are you?
How you doing, guys?
Great. Good to have you on the show. First of all, a win last night again over Sparta, and boy, your defense must have really came out and played hard last night because you didn't give up very many points against the Bulldogs.
Well, we did okay. I mean, we still got a lot of stuff to work on, but we did all right, and trying to get better all the time. They missed some shots that made a difference. It won't be like that tonight. We know that. When the Rangers coming in, they're quick and they can shoot it, and they're very talented. And Coach Winemiller does such a great job. We're just going to have our hands full trying to.
Well, you've reeled off a couple of pretty impressive wins. I mean, you gave Anna Jonesboro their first loss of the season. You beat Waterloo Jabot. So it seems like you've got the Hornets playing some pretty good basketball now since the last time we talked to you.
Well, we're trying to get better every day. We still got a long way to go. I know we started out to get in that pretty tough tournament we were in at Mascoutah, and we got out of there with 2 wins, which we were happy to get 2 wins out of there with all those very good teams in there. But and after that, it seemed like we're getting a little better, but we still got a long way to go. We're still working on things and trying to get the little things done right here.
Well, your Nashville Hornets, Wayne, have this game tonight, and then you'll be headed down to where you going for Christmas? Duster Thomas?
No, they're Breeze Mater Day. Breeze Mater Day.
We're going to Mater Day.
Yeah.
First we got Carterville on Wednesday, so we got the Lions first, and then we're at Mater Day.
Well, that'll be a big tournament up there. There's always a lot of great talent up there at that Mater Day holiday tournament.
Well, it's one of the better ones. I mean, for 10 teams, probably evenly matched. You could go in there, you could lose 5 games. That's how good everybody is in there. And I think last year Breeze Central won it, and they were a 7 or 8 seed. So it happens all the time there. It's just that it's just a tough tournament. It's you're playing 5 games in 4 days, and you got to have some depth, and it's a long drawn out affair. But it's nice for the fans. There's no question about it. It's real good basketball, and there's real good players in there. So it's nice to watch as far as that goes. I don't know about how good it is for coaching, but it's nice for the players and the fans.
Well, talk a little bit about the adjustment for you. Coming from coaching girls basketball now back over to the boys' side, I'm sure it's been a little bit of adjustment curve for you also here at the beginning of this season.
Oh, no question. I mean, I just trying to get in the swing of things. I mean, I've been out. I've been on the girls' side, so I kind of knew some of the players on the girls' side. It's just trying to get used to who we're playing and just different things like that, and the coaches and things like that. Trying to get some relationships with everybody. So it's just a total adjustment for me. And and one thing about it, I have to say my 3 assistants are just as good as any head coach. So they've really helped me a lot to understand who's playing what and what we need to do and some individual players and other teams what they do. So if I wouldn't have them, I'd really be lost.
Well, let's talk about who those 3 assistants are. Wayne, go ahead.
Well, we've got Jason Guest. He's our JV coach, and he's been here 9 or 10 years. And then we got Patrick Weathers. Is been around basketball his life, and does a tremendous job with our sophomores. And then Kelly Cruiser, which I coach Guest, and I coach Kelly Cruiser whenever I was on the boys' side. And he played college basketball at Quincy, so they just understand what's going on. And then we added Tommy Felchinsky as our freshman coach, and he was one of our better players that we ever had coming through Nashville High School. So it's a good young assistant staff, and that helps with energy, and they've got a lot of energy to help me out a little bit. So without them, I think that's with anybody. You got to trust them, let them go, and that's pretty well how I've always coached. You let your assistants and do a lot of stuff and get them involved, and it seems like it helps the program with that.
Well, when we had you on the show a few weeks ago, preseason chat, you mentioned the fact that it's kind of odd to not have a big man really on the Nashville Hornets, because we've always seen that the Hornets have always had big guys in the lineup all the way back to Lucas O'Rear and before that even, and even in your days, of course. But you don't have a whole lot of size this year, but looking at the schedule and looking at what you've played so far, I mean, really, you got to be pretty happy to be sitting 5-2 right now, I would think.
I'll be honest with you, yeah. I mean, when we started this thing and talking to my assistant coach and who everybody coming back, we had less people coming back than anybody, and we had lost 4 starters, and we're just trying to get the other people that were going to play varsity basketball, just try to get them to understand how hard they have to play and getting used to the speed of the game. It's not JV basketball again anymore. It's not sophomore basketball anymore. So it was just an adjustment for us. And with our schedule coming out, especially with that Muscuda tournament and everybody having everybody back pretty well except us, it's been a chore here, to get immaculate or understand what we need to do. But for getting 5 wins, I'm pretty pleased right now. Our assistant coach, like I said, we were talking about that. It's like, boy, let's hope we get a few wins before Christmas. And then we had to go to Mater Day, so we were really concerned, trying to get some wins. But getting 5 is fine, and we're still trying to find some more wins if we can. And we're, it's like I said, tonight will be a big chore for us with Benton coming in for sure.
Yeah, what concerns you the most about the Benton Rangers tonight, Coach?
Well, I mean, of course, their quickness and their shooting ability. I mean, I think that's they can do a lot of different things. And I think those kids. I mean, just you can understand they've been playing together for such a long time. They've had all this success, and you can't. That helps with your just letting them play, and they're kind of like they understand what they need to do on the floor, and you can't coach that stuff, and that really helps. And when you can do that, you can do different things. They just kind of adjust as the game goes on, and that really helps you. And I will say this: I think what's really underrated is their defense. I think Coach Winemiller has them playing very good defense, and I think people underestimate that. And they do a great job with their size. They're not overly big either, but they understand how to play, and I think people have to realize that.
Well, it should be a great matchup over there tonight, as both teams are kind of on a roll here, and everybody's pushing toward the Christmas break. So I expect it to be a great atmosphere over there at Nashville tonight.
Well, we hope so. I know there's a lot of things going on at this time of year, so. But we hope so, and we hope it's a good game for both of us, and just like I said, it's a good game for both programs before Christmas, and we're still learning. I'm sure Coach Winemiller's, they're trying to get better, and we're trying to get better, so that's a game that we can figure out how we can get our teams better before the postseason run.
Yeah, we just talked to Ron before you, Wayne, and he said his team is just trying to survive to get home. They're 7-1 on the season. They've only played one home game, and he said we get to go to Nashville tonight, play another road game. He said we get to come home for Christmas break, but he said we get to face the Harrisburg Bulldogs heading into Christmas. So he said, I guess that's Merry Christmas to the Benton Rangers.
And that's how that works sometimes. Next year they'll have these three on home.
Right.
It's just the way that works. That schedule is kind of fluky sometimes, and I'm sure last year they were playing quite a few at home. So this year is pretty tough, and for them to be 7-1, that tells you how well they've played and how well those kids understand how to play. So they're just a tremendous team, and like they played a lot of basketball together, and that really helps. Helps.
Well, your Nashville Hornets have won 4 in a row, so things are coming together too for you. Well,
we're hoping so. It seems like we are. I mean, but high school basketball is different. You can fall flat on your face some games. It's just the way things go. And again, we hope that we can keep it going in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm sure you could ask Clint Winemiller that. His Lady Foxes were 10-0, headed over to Edwards County on Thursday night, and they go over and they shoot 12 out of 62 and get beat by 5. Wayne.
I know. I mean, that's the way this basketball is. I mean, and I told our kids, I said, we can, and anybody on our schedule can get us, and and I think we can compete with anybody on our schedule. But that's just how even this year is, and so it's going to be again, every game is a tough game for us. There's no question about that.
Sounds like you're at a game of some kind this morning, huh? If I hear the horn going off in the background.
Well, yeah, we got our girls are practicing here, so
okay.
so I'm just kind of sitting here right now.
Gotcha. Hey, one more thing before I let you go. You're a big St. Louis Cardinals fan, aren't you?
Sure am.
Yeah. How about this acquisition of Marcell Ozuna? You got to be excited about that too, having that big bat in our lineup, huh?
Oh, I think that's a good trade. I mean, I know we got to give up something to get something, and I know we gave up that speed situation like that, but I think that's good. I think they were missing a big bat in the middle, and I think they went out and got it. And I think anytime you have a bat like that in the middle, it makes the people around them better, because they're going to have to throw strikes to other people. They get better pitch, better things to hit. So I like it. I mean, I hope it works out. They haven't had one for a while.
No.
Since school's left, and or our holiday. I guess holiday would be the next one, but. I really like that trade.
Yeah, if he could hit 37 home runs and 124 RBIs for the Cardinals like he did for Miami, boy, that would be huge for that Cardinal lineup.
Yeah, and I think that'll be. Yeah, I'll take our chances of getting the playoffs. Then I think if they can do that. I think they can do that. I think they can win 5 or 6 more games, and that'll get them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
No question about that.
Real quick, how's Jordy doing over at SIUE?
She's doing good. They got a game tomorrow, and then they're off to Florida. My wife and one of her friends are going to go down to. They play at Florida Gulf Coast this week.
Oh, great!
Over break, so they're looking forward to that. They're playing Northern Illinois tomorrow, so I'm going to head over there and watch that.
Excellent.
They're going to head out there. So, but yeah, she's doing fine and she enjoys it, and I think they're struggling right now, but they've played some pretty good competition. They went down to Missouri, and of course they're 17th in the country, and they kind of took it on the chin there. But that was a little bit out of their league. They just got too big of girls and too much quickness out there. But hopefully they'll get back to a win on Sunday.
Well, as long as she's enjoying it and having fun, that's the main thing. That's great.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do. And she comes home and she said, I really enjoy it yet. And I said, that's fine. I said, that's what it's all about. That's all it's all about, Junior. So
that's right.
She's having a good time right now.
Good deal.
Wayne, want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas.
Same to you guys,
okay.
And make sure it's always good to spend time with your family. You can't get those times back, and I've learned that in a hurry. And that's always a good thing to do.
That's so true. That's so true. And good luck tonight in your game with Benton. Okay. Take care.
Thank you very much, guys.
Have a good
Thank
weekend.
you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That is Wayne Harre, head coach of the Nashville Hornets, and that'd be a good game to go to tonight. If you're in that neck of the woods, you're looking for some good boys basketball to see. Benton Rangers and Nashville Hornets tonight at the Assembly Hall in Nashville.
Yeah, two good young coaches going to battle. It'll be worth just go watch them two guys.
You think they'll be working the officials?
They'll be working each other.
They could be.
Yeah, they'll be working each other. I remember back a few years ago, Ron Winemiller and one of the other coaches that he was really a good friend with were battling each other. And these two guys went to the half line and had a little powwow session at half line amongst themselves in the middle of the game.
They might have a battle tonight to see who's the best dressed.
Well, could be.
They'll both show up pretty dapper there tonight, I think.
It'll be a great atmosphere. If you like high school basketball, the Conrad Allen Holiday Tournament offers you some 1A basketball. And if you want to see a great 2A basketball game, go over to Nashville and check out the Hornets and the Benton Rangers.
That's right. And, again, if you cannot make it tonight to the game at the Conrad Allen Holiday Tournament, we will bring you the third-place game and the championship games, both of them with live video streaming on AreaSports.net. And, again, you got Gallatin County against Red Hill in that third-place game around 6 o'clock, and then the championship game between Wayne City and Weber Township about 7:30.
Should be a great night of basketball. Glad to be able to be part of it.
It's going to be fun. All right, well, that's it. We're out of time. We're going to get out of here. Appreciate everybody being on the show with us this morning, all of our guests, and, of course, thanks to the sponsors for underwriting and making it all possible. And thank you for listening and or watching this morning. And join us tonight again for that third-place game and championship game from the Conrad Allen Tournament on AreaSports.net. Take care, everybody. Have a good weekend. So long.
This is your home for best Christian music.
WVYN.